Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by my channel. Once again, Tony here. The E-light is on, so we are taping. This segment is about the box set. There's a lot of talk about box sets lately. We've had Beatle box sets, we've had Stones box sets. Lately, we've got the Rhino ZZ Top box set. Just more recently, we just had the Doors box set. We have Beatles box set. Did I mention Beatles box set? We have Beatles box set. I think every 6 months we get a Beatle box set now. We've had Faces box sets. We've had Sade box sets. We probably have a Barbra Streisand box set, but I don't know about that. But box sets are not new to all the people out there who are just buying their turntables and are just getting box sets. Now, box sets for me is something I really have to think about it, unless it's like a Beatle box set, a Revolver, or Let It Be, where they're doing outtakes and B-sides and really giving you a lot of oomph for your money. I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of those originals in those box sets, so I really don't need to buy box sets. But I have bought box sets of groups that I've had OGs of in really good condition, like Dire Straits, The Who. I have the Big John, my partner in crime. Big John got me a German Who box set that had probably up to, it's probably 10 years old now, but had everything in there, all German pressings, beautiful pressings, including Tommy, Quadrophenia, Who's Next, a big and bouncy, all that stuff. So box sets have been around for a long time. I'm going over not Record Store Day box sets, which are very prominent right now. I just got the Ramones box set last year. There's a ton of box sets that are Record Store Day online, such as the Doors, Rhino stuff, Beatles stuff from Apple. But these are thrift shop box sets. These are your father's box sets, probably. Some of them are cool. Some of them I don't really play a lot of, but I have them because I was finding them at thrift shops for probably not more than $1 each. If I tell you, sometimes I would get a deal where they were actually selling box sets for $0.25 each. And don't get me wrong, I look at each record inside. I make sure it has the booklet. If it's an opera, I make sure it has a libretto. See, I could even speak Italian. I make sure it has a libretto. And don't forget, when you buy Tommy, make sure it has a libretto. So anyway, I'm just going to show these real fast. These are classic artists. I have a lot of these artists, obviously, in solos, but these box sets mirror their solo records. A lot of times, it's the entire catalog put into a box set. And I pulled out, I don't know, 10 or 12 just to show you guys. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is a great one. Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. You can see their graphics on the side, really nice. This is actually in mint condition. This has a nice slipcase. This is the Longines Symphony. If you don't know that, that was a big box set type of industry. But these, I believe, were just, cut really nice. The lights are in here. These are cut really nice. You get I would assume, obviously up to this point, you'd have the entire Herb Alpert collection if you're a Herb Alpert fan. And these sound really good. Michael Fremer once did a show on great engineers and people who cut lacquers and things of that nature. And believe it or not, a lot of those great lacquer cutters that are historic, a lot of them have passed, like Kevin Gray and things. They've actually even cut box sets. They actually engineered box sets. So, and like I said, a lot of these box sets are individual records when they're from that particular label that just put all the records together. Maybe they're not selling. Maybe they want to just get rid of stock, whatever. Now, this is a really good one. I've had this a long time. Forever Yours, Nat King Cole, and that's Nat Cole's signature there, a facsimile. This is Capitol Music Treasures, a deluxe 6-album set. Now, I'm sure when I look at these, because I didn't really prep a lot. I just pulled them. I wanted to do something about box sets. All we hear about is box sets, and box sets today are expensive. People are complaining about the Beatle box set at $299. for 8 records and 1 record that we're not going to listen to, the Beatles Story. But anyway, these are box sets that I picked up through the years, and I'm just going to show you. See, that's a beautiful Capitol label. So these are probably the same records that would come in the if you would buy them individually, but they're in a box set. Now this is a really cool one. This is a Bob Hope box set. It has nothing else on it. If this was just laying on a counter, you wouldn't even see the name. So it's actually timeless, because if you know Bob Hope, you could see his silhouette. His silhouette is famous. This is, I believe, a famous artist who drew this from the New York Daily News. But this is a really nice box set. I picked this up for $1 a while ago. I was really happy to find it. And if you go on here, it has a booklet, but on the cover, it has what's on here. Now, what's cool about this, it's all his different shows. I don't know if they're shows that he did for the Army or the Air Force or the Marines when he was doing shows during the Korean War. But this has Bing Crosby on it. It has Jimmy Durante. It has a whole side, believe it or not, of the Supremes there. So the Supremes appeared with Bob Hope. You have Raquel Welch. You have Pearl Bailey. You have Shirley Ross. You have George Burns, if you people know him. Ethel Merman. Jimmy Cagney. You Dirty Rat. Irving Berlin. John Wayne is even doing a commentary. Dorothy Lamour. So you get the idea. But what's really nice about this is this gorgeous booklet that rivals anything that's actually printed today. And here you have tons of photographs. A real treasure. I'm a big Bob Hope fan. I love his movies with Bing, the road movies and things like that. I know I have a couple Bing box sets. I don't know if I pulled them, but look at these labels. These are in mono, I believe, for the most part, but gorgeous. Now, who cut these? I don't know, but they sound really good. Never been abused. This was a 1979 King of Comedy Associates, mastered at Columbia Record Studios. Hirschfeld is the one who did the actual lithograph, the famous cartoonist, if you guys know. This is a really good one. Spotlight on Drums. I picked this up I believe I picked this up at a big type of inside flea market. This is mint condition. This is on Murray Hill Records. Spotlight on. Oh no, this is from a collection I picked up. But this is really nice. It's 3 records. Spotlight on Drums. Here's one of the labels. So this has Gene Krupa, Buddy Rich, Chick Webb, Max Roach, Bellison. Has all the tracks on the back. Doesn't have a booklet, but it has the tracks on the back. This is a CBS 1983 special services. This is a great one. These are original country hits. This is a huge box set. I never really played it, but I looked at it. That's what I do most of my records. I look at it. This has Hank Williams Sr., Hank Williams Jr., the Everly Brothers, Wake Up Little Susie, which really I don't consider country. I consider that pop, but really cool stuff. Hank Williams Sr., Johnny Cash, Cry, 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 Jerry Lee Lewis, Breathless, Come Walk With Me, Wilma Lee and Stoney Cooper, Jim Reeves, the famous Jim Reeves, Bobby Helms, who did Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, Whole Lot of Shaker going on, of course, Jerry Lee, but just a tremendous package. And here you have the numbers, so you could pull them out, the 6 records, and I'll just show you a label. They come in polyline labels, and a lot of these, this is a Reader's Digest, and a lot of these were sold over the TV, over the television, as you guys know, as you older folks know. And they weren't expensive. Of course, nothing was expensive back then, but relatively speaking, it was the same as what we would take today. This is probably like a $20 box set with shipping, and there's the side. So this is a cool box set. Here, this is one of my favorite box sets. It's not really a box set, it's a double record set, but I talked about this record before. I found this at a flea market or a yard sale. Recorded December 3rd and 4th, 73. Bob Willis and his Texas Playboys. This record sounds fantastic. This is one of my go-to demo records. And if you see this or you want to purchase this online, this is a UA. It has a nice inner sleeves. Has some pictures of the Cowboys. Yeah, as you know, Bob Willis is a famous country cowboy singer. Tan UA label. So really recommend it for that one. I'm going to take this off. This is one of my favorites as well. You people know I love the Mills Brothers. The Mills Brothers, any of the old rhythm and blues vocalists from the 40s. Dean Martin was a big fan of the Mills Brothers. They were on his show quite a bit. And this is a Longines Symphonette Society again. The Mellow Years. And the Mills Brothers and the Mellow Years. I don't know if the Mellow Years are actually a group or the Mellow Years are they're always mellow. So, but here you have a beautiful booklet. The box sets of this era are pretty elaborate. They're actually better made sometimes than the box sets of today. And I've never had. Well, the funny thing is, I've never gotten a split seam in any of these box sets because they're probably not mailed a lot. They're just mailed to the store. And they're able to stay intact because today everything is being mailed, and that's shaking. Everything has to be tight, or else you're shaking the record. It's going to hit the seam, and it's going to slide. That's why whenever I sell a record, if it's open, if it's opened, I will take the record out and place it nicely on top with a cardboard insert so that it's not able to hit the seam. But here's a nice little box. This is cool, a little diagram of the records. This has Paper Doll, Stardust, Moon Indigo, Idaho, Cool Water, Cow Cow Boogie. It's just on and on and on if you know these guys. I Miss You, You Know Somebody Loves You. All the hits that the Mills Brothers made famous. They sold millions of records. They were a staple in jukeboxes all over this great land. And before I forget, talking about great land, I hope everybody's doing well. And thanks for all the subscriptions and likes. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If you want to make a comment about these box sets, please do so. I really love hearing from everybody. I want to thank everybody out there and wish everybody the best. So here's another great one. Now, I don't have all of Glen Campbell's records. I'm not a great Glen Campbell fan. I do like his hits. But here I picked up in mint condition the golden favorites of Glen Campbell. Now, that's a lot of golden favorites because I believe this is probably a 6-record set. And you can see here it has the similar type of opening with the little legend there has the albums, and these are albums. So these are the same albums that maybe it's the Mills Brothers was the same as well. These would be the same albums that you would get if you bought these albums individually. Now this first album, randomly pulled, is a compilation. So these are compilations, or they're not even it's not even distinctive of what it is. But these are all cut by master cutters, engineered. Here's a special booklet that's prepared. Record 1, Wichita Lineman, has on it. Record 2 has True Grit, which he was in, True Grit. Record 3 has MacArthur Park. Record 4, Galveston. By the time I get to Phoenix, is on record 5. So this is a 5-record set. Here is your certificate of authenticity. And there's an ad. So for $14.98, there's a 6-record set, which I wouldn't be interested in. Even if I saw that at a yard sale, I wouldn't buy it. I normally just buy the specific artists when they're actually doing, just mood music and things like that. I don't buy those. But they're only $14.98, so I was actually a little bit above what they were going for. Back then in the 70s, $14.98 is probably the equivalent of $60 today, so they weren't cheap. But really nice package. This has something inside when I picked it up. which was interesting. The obituary of Glen Campbell. So I recently got this, and 1979. That's a file photo of him, 1979, and he passed away sometime in 2017. This is dated August 9th. So I always do that. Michael Furman does that as well. If I see an obituary, I don't do it as much now because I'm not really buying newspapers anymore, right? We're seeing everything online, and we're going through that, but this was pretty cool. So Glen Campbell, right? Next week, we're coming up with a couple of Sinatras. I pulled some of my Sinatra box sets. I didn't pull them all, but these are actually the records of his that would come out, single. So this is a great compilation. Come Dance With Me is on here. All the Way. These are albums, right? These are albums. Come Dance With Me. Nice and Easy. One of my favorites. All the Way. Point of No Return. Early Sinatra. Sinatra's Swingin' Sessions. Sinatra Sings for Only the Lonely. So this, believe it or not, was at Goodwill. It was $1, maybe $2, but these are actually rainbow capitals, and they're just in exquisite shape. You can see that there, exquisite shape. And these are the actual albums. Now, don't know what pressings they are, but they're early pressings, or they're definitely from the tapes given to them by Capitol. So that's really cool. And like I said, it could be overstock. They just want to put a box set together. Sinatra had nothing to do with that. It's all corporate. Okay, let's get the 6 Sinatra records that we have laying around that aren't moving. Let's put them in a box set and see what happens. Here's another one on Capitol. The Sinatra Touch, an evening of swinging hits and tender ballads by the master vocalist, All the Way, etc., etc. Really nice. This was a flea market find or a yard sale find. And there you have a nice little box. And these are also rainbow capitals. So this is basically the Sinatra Touch. These are compilations. These aren't the records that would come out individually. As you can see, it's the Sinatra Touch. So somehow these have been remastered and compiled. But this is really cool. If you don't have a cool Sinatra collection, obviously this would be a go-to guy. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't see these too often anymore. You don't see the Sinatras, you don't see the Elvises. I didn't even pull my Elvis's box set. I'll do a show just on Elvis if people like this. But you don't even see this. You may see a Nat Cole, you may see a Bing Crosby. You'll definitely see Ray Conniff. You'll definitely see the bands like a Glenn Miller box set. But the named people, the named artists, the legends. Even though Harry James is a legend, don't get me wrong, but you don't see Sinatra's, you don't see the Elvises, obviously, the ones that you would find back 10, 15 years ago. Now, this was given to me, I believe, by a good friend whose mom was a huge Sinatra fan, and I love their mom, so they got me this. This is brand new. They didn't even play this. This is Sinatra, the Columbia years. This is excellent because you could actually hear that he was a teenager basically, and you could hear how young he sounded. And if you go through the years to the My Way or to the Comeback, it's almost sounds like a different guy. But this is really nice. It's individual records. I believe it has a nice booklet right here, a little booklet of Columbia, and each record has a distinctive jacket, which I'll pull because I think Sinatra's worth it. I'll just show real quick. The standards, they're labeled and themes. Here we have screen, film, songs. There's the spine. I'll show you the label. Columbia label. I put them in MoFis. Here we have Sinatra, Love Songs. A Young Frank. Straight Out of Hoboken. That would be a good title for one of his records, Straight Out of Hoboken. Here's Sinatra Swings. And you can see these are laminated, very nice. And here we have Stage. So these are from, Broadway plays. I Could Write a Book is on here. Old Man River is on here, his classic Old Man River. He's recorded these songs a number of times. These are his first recordings of these songs. So you definitely hear the young Frank. Here's another Sinatra that doesn't sound that great because it's rechanneled for stereo. These were mono, the essential Frank Sinatra on Columbia, an anthology of early years from his first recordings with Harry James, 1939, to the celebrated Sinatra of 1952. 4 albums, a 12-page booklet with rare photos. And there you can see that. So this is really nice. Here's one of the inserts. And there's the booklet. So a really nice booklet. These are nice drawings, drawings from photographs, and a really nice layout. I don't have time to show the whole thing. If anybody really wants to see the Sinatras separately, let me know, and I'll devote a whole segment to these. And here he is with, I believe, Harry James. There, so and they're on a 2i Columbia reproduction. Unless these were OGs. These are OGs, I believe. This is really, they're mint. Stereo 2i Columbias. Wow. Like I said, I haven't really looked at these in a while. I have, I have a good collection of Frank. I usually play the individual albums. Actually, I have all of these on individual albums, besides the compilations. So that's this. That's Sinatra. We're done with Frank for now. Like I said, I pulled out. And these are just, these are extraordinary. These are mint. These are Deutsche Grammophon box sets. The famous German classical. And this is Beethoven edition. These are made in Germany. This is a complete series. I have 4 of these. I'll just show you a few inside. It has Deutsche Grammophon. These are mint. These are near mint. I don't think they've ever been played. And here's the booklet that explains what's in here. These are probably 8 records or so in this box. Deutsche Grammophon, classical. This weighs a ton. This rivals anything you would hear today. These are great. And a lot of the Deutsche Grammophones now are being redone, reissued. I used to find so much classical back at thrift shops for 50 cents that I would buy them, and John knows his classical, and I would give John classical. I would keep some. I have a pretty good collection. Here is a German concert, Beethoven edition. The concerts. Made in Germany. And here's Beethoven's 9th, the symphonies. Herbert von Karajan. And last but not least, Beethoven edition, whatever that is in German. These are chamber music concerts, chamber music pieces. Just really, and there's the same layout as before, a nice booklet and stuff. So that's it. A few box sets. Box sets aren't new. Box sets have been around. There's also, before there were LPs, there were 45 EP box sets, as you know. Disney had box sets. All the greats, like I said, from Caruso to Robeson to anybody. What we really need, I'm putting it out there, and I'm going to talk about this. What we really need, I think, is some of the Motown artists. We need to get, just off the top of my head, I know it hasn't been done. I don't believe. I know they have anthologies, but I don't think there was ever a box set of, say, the Temptations or Marvin Gaye, where you have each album redone with great liner notes because with the Temptations, for instance, all of the anthologies contain their hits, but they contain the single versions. The album versions are where they, where they really, kick ass. Where the session guys that they used really, go all out. You have 11-minute jams, you have 10-minute jams, so it's hard to describe. And a lot of those early Motown records, like the Smokey Robinson records, they're hard to find very clean unless they're in your personal collection. You're not going to find records like that at yard sales. Most people that have really nice records like that are going to keep them. I would keep them, or their kids now are keeping them. So you're not going to see those being distributed, especially stuff from the 60s and 70s. Those great Motown records, those great Motown artists, the Four Tops, Diana Ross. There's so many records you would have to do 6 or 7. You couldn't do a whole set. But the Temps, pick out the 5 or 6 modern Temptation records, or Marvin Gaye records. Everyone does what's going on, but all the Marvin Gaye stuff is good. So that's it. So just keep rocking, stay safe. We'll see you next time, and please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. Ciao.